about to see one of the worst pieces of bias reporting in the history of Channel 9.
World Athletics Council has announced transgender women will be banned from competing in women's track and field events.
World Athletics announced this early this morning. They say they've been in talks for around 2 months with stakeholders, with athletes, with trans athletes as well, with coaches.
The World Athletics Council has adopted the same rules as swimming did last year in deciding to exclude athletes who have transitioned from men to women after puberty.
Where the science is insufficient to justify maintaining testosterone suppression for transgender athletes, the Council agreed it must be guided by our overarching principle, which is to protect the female category.
Which is fair enough in my humble opinion. I think Channel 9 should have got an Athletics Australia representative on to speak about this matter, to maybe get Raelene Boyle on to find out how she felt missing out on a gold medal up against an East German full of steroids. But let's see who Channel 9 got to interview about this.
Well, welcome back to Sports Sunday, here to give us more insight on what this ruling means for the transgender community. Is one of the biggest stars in world rugby, Olympic gold medalist from Rio, Elliot Green, and NRLW superstar Elliot, who recently transitioned. Thank you so much for joining us here, Elliot. This is a bit of a reunion between you two. Like, you should have brought the gold medal. I feel like a real underachiever.
Although I don't have the status as Chloe does on the Northern Beaches.
Now, they are making light of an extremely delicate topic, and in my opinion, this is an absolutely inappropriate way to cover such a sensitive story. I have nothing personal against the nice young man with a penis on stage who is now saying they're transitioning to femaledom, although I find that extremely hard to believe. I'm just in shock. I can't believe this is happening. Watch what happens next.
But Elliot, what was your reaction to this ruling?
In all honesty, it wasn't surprising, considering what's going on in the world and the hate and discrimination directed at trans people. It wasn't a surprising thing to see. It was upsetting to see, but yeah, once again, not the biggest surprise.
What kind of impact does this have on trans athletes?
I think it...
What about the impact on normal women athletes globally? What about the impact on them about having transgender people competing against them when they're really men with penises?
And the discrimination against trans people. It's something that is already such a huge issue in society, let alone sports. The problems that are faced by transgender people are huge in society, so to then bring that into sport and the challenges that it faces, it's a whole nother topic, and I think that the media and the way that it's portrayed can do a lot better in terms of giving so much, so much opinions available on social media and abuse directed at these athletes personally, and I think...
Now, I have nothing personal against this lovely young person. I don't think people who switch sexes or attempt to should be victims of hatred campaigns. That's absolutely wrong. But I do think we should have some mutually respectful, robust discussions about the inappropriateness of this, and that women's sports are just that. They are for women. Transgender sports can be considered. I would fully 100% support a category for transgender sports.
I think there's just a lot to be done in terms of that.
Thinking about your own experience and your own journey, Elliot, looking back to when you were competing in rugby sevens and battling different knee injuries and things like that, but at the same time competing in elite sport, but knowing that you weren't in your true self, in your true identity, what was that process like for you?
Well, since my retirement, it's actually been the best feeling in the world to be able to be comfortable in me, and it's something that I had planned for so long leading up to my retirement, so it was just a matter of time.